Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan episode. If you're new here, this is an episode that I do every week where I share my family's meal plan with you for the upcoming week. And there's also a blog post that goes along with this on my website at lolasfrugallife.com that has links to any recipes that I mention here. I do this just to share in case anything that I'm making might give you an idea of something you might want to make, or even just to give you some inspiration to get your meal plan together, and also to remind you that you do not need to always be making new recipes. It's totally fine to repeat things that you like to eat and that are easy to make, and you do not always need to be checking Pinterest or other websites or things like that to find new recipes to put in your meal plan. So if you listen regularly, you will notice that I rotate meals on a regular basis. Monday through Thursday, I kind of have a pretty good rotation going, and then the rest of the week, I just kind of throw things in that are meals that I kind of make semi-regularly. But what I try and do is plan ahead. Like if I have a meal that isn't in my regular meal rotation, but I know I'd like to make it again, I will place it in my meal plan either a month from now or 2 months from now, or whatever the meal is, depending on how soon we want to have it again. That way it's not forgotten about, and then it's also on a future meal plan, which is one less day I have to plan in the future when I get to that week. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, June 10th. For Saturday, I'm doing quick and easy air fryer sausage, which is from staysnatched.com. If you do not have an air fryer, obviously you could just do sausage however you like to make it, on the grill or in the oven or whatever. But if you do have an air fryer and you haven't made sausage or hot dogs or anything like that in it, if you eat those, they come out perfect in the air fryer. I always have trouble cooking stuff like that on the grill because I wind up getting burn lines in it, no matter how much I try to keep on top of turning and turning and turning. I still ultimately almost always end up burning at least some. So cooking them in the air fryer, it's so easy. You literally just throw them in there raw, and they come out perfectly browned and even and not burned, and I really like how they come out in there. So we're doing that. And then I'm going to be making loaded potato salad on the side, which is from tasteofhome.com. This is like it sounds, it's potato salad that's kind of in the style of a loaded baked potato. It has sour cream, bacon, shredded cheese, and things like that. It's really easy to make. It's got a combination of salad dressings that you mix together, and mayo and sour cream and those types of ingredients. So it's not my usual go-to potato salad, but it's something I made, I think probably once last year, and it was good for something to have something a little different once in a while. So we'll be doing that for Saturday. For Sunday, I'm going to be making easy American goulash. This is from budgetbites.com. That's budgetbytes.com. This is another meal that I've been making more frequently. I just kind of found this recipe, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. And this is a really simple one-pot meal to make on the stovetop. So it's kind of good still to go through the summer because I don't have to heat up the oven. And it's pretty much just ground beef, pasta, tomatoes, tomato sauce, some seasoning, elbow macaroni. I might have said pasta already, but whatever, it's made with elbows. So it's kind of a good version of a hamburger helper type meal, with the meat and the pasta and the vegetables and stuff like that. But it's homemade, obviously. So that's for Sunday. For Monday, we're going to be doing ribeye steak. We do that once a month on a Monday. So for that, I just marinate the steak in Montreal steak season, olive oil and vinegar, red wine vinegar, and then I just throw it on the grill now that it's the summer. And then as a side dish, I'm going to be making awesome pasta salad, which is from allrecipes.com. And this is just your typical pasta salad with meat and cheese and peppers and olives in it. So we'll be having that on the side with the steak. For Tuesday, we're doing tacos this week. We always do some kind of Mexican theme meal on Tuesday. This week is tacos. So I will just be cooking up some ground meat. We've kind of recently switched to beef. I have a mixture of who likes the ground turkey more that I used to usually make, and then who likes the ground beef better, which was requested by some people in my family, so of course I can never, hardly, well, not never, occasionally I do, but it's very difficult to get at all 5 people on the same page as far as if they like a recipe or how they like it best. But anyway, I'm going to be doing ground beef again this week. That's what I did last week. The interesting thing is, though, I used to use 1 pound of ground chicken to make the tacos, and we always had leftover taco meat. And then when I made last time I made tacos, and I used the ground beef instead, I used the same amount of ground beef weight-wise as ground chicken, but there wasn't any meat left. Like, we barely had enough to make tacos with. So I'm guessing that's because chicken is, I'm guessing, less dense, so you probably get more for the weight. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I just found it interesting because I looked at the pan and I was like, there was like a couple crumbles left, and I said to my husband, you better make a taco quick because there's like nothing left here. So since I'm going to be using ground beef, I'll definitely have to use more than in weight than what I was using when I was doing ground chicken. So anyway, of course, I just cook up the meat. I season it with, I don't even use taco seasoning anymore. I just use some seasoned salt and chili powder, and cook it up like that. And then, of course, I put out, like lettuce, tomato, cheese, guacamole, stuff like that. And then some flour tortillas and some hard shell tacos. So that's for Tuesday. For Wednesday, we're doing the bacon wrapped barbecue shrimp. Wednesday, we usually do seafood. I love making this meal because it's just so easy. You just take the shrimp and spread it out on a pan. I sprinkle it with some, it says to use barbecue seasoning, but what I do is I actually just use the same seasoning like I do for the taco meat. I just sprinkle the shrimp with seasoned salt and chili powder. And then I layer pieces of bacon over top of the shrimp. I don't actually wrap it because I did that one time because I don't remember, the shrimp were too big or too small and I wasn't going to sit there and wrap them all. And I wound up just chopping it up with scissors and laying it all over top of the shrimp, and it comes out perfectly good. And you could grab a piece of shrimp and a piece of bacon and it all goes together the same. So I do not take the time to actually wrap them. And on the side with that, I will be making fried rice. I was making an Instant Pot fried rice, which I'll have the recipe on the website, but in my meal plan. But then sometimes what I wind up doing is just going the easy route and just kind of cooking up some frozen stir-fry vegetables in my frying pan, and then just adding in some cooked white rice and seasoning it with some soy sauce and cooking up some egg and putting that in there. Actually, I say the easy route. They're really both just as easy, but sometimes I just don't feel like pulling out the Instant Pot and having to clean it afterwards and stuff. So to me, it's a little bit easier to just whip that up quickly in a frying pan. And I'll do the I'll usually make the rice like earlier in the day if I remember. That way I have it cooked already, and then I really just have to like cook up the vegetables real quick, add the rice, add some egg, and I'm good to go. So then for Thursday, we do either soup or breakfast for dinner. So we're doing soup this week. I'm doing Instant Pot broccoli cheddar soup, which is from pipingpotcurry.com. This is similar to the Panera broccoli cheddar soup, and it's really pretty quick and easy to make. So we will be doing that for this Thursday. For Friday, I'm going to be doing grilled chicken thighs. For that, all I do is I just get some boneless chicken thighs. I brush them with barbecue sauce and throw them on the grill. They cook up really pretty quick and easy. And then as a side, I'm going to be doing bacon and spinach pasta with Parmesan. This is from budgetbites.com also, as one of my previous recipes during this week was from. And this is a meal that you make on the stovetop with, you basically like cook up some bacon, and then you make like a broth, like you add like chicken broth to it, and then you add pasta and spinach, and I don't remember the exact process, but whatever. In the end, you have pasta with spinach and bacon and like a nice creamy kind of sauce on the pasta. And last time I made this just as the meal, but I found that it wasn't enough for my family to have as a full meal. Like, there was barely enough to feed the 5 of us. So that's why I decided to do the grilled chicken thighs with it. So I figured we could kind of have it together as one meal. So that's it for this week's meal plan. Like I said, you can find links to any recipes I mentioned on my website at lolasfrugallife.com. And as well as a listing, in order of I said it here, of the full meal plan. And there's one for every single week for every podcast to go along with each podcast episode. So that's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.